Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:07 Monday, December 5th, 40 degrees. Getting up to 51 today. It's raining this morning, so wear your, slicker and galoshes. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. We are joined on the line by Kendra Zarilli. She is the board president of... All right, Kendra, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Is it the Brick Community Children's Theater or Children's Community Theater?
Children's Community Theater.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I got to just update my notes here. Okay. Got it. I got it now. All right. So why don't you give folks kind of an overview of what the Brick Children's Community Theater is all about?
Well, we're a community theater group featuring youth actors ages 5 to 18. We were started in Brick almost 25 years ago. Next year will be our 25th anniversary. But we are now at the point where we have about 150 kids come audition for our shows, and they come from all over Ocean and Monmouth County. So we have far reach beyond Brick at this point. We also have a performing arts education program where we teach classes in acting, musical theater, and voice through our Stages program. So we kind of have two arms to what we do. Obviously the theater group being the what's really out there in the public.
Right. Now, are these kids, first of all, 150 kids, so how many do you cast in a typical show?
In a typical show, we cast between 40 and 50. This show, we have 62 kids, which is one of our largest casts right now. So it's a lot of fun having that many kids running around at any given time.
Right. So basically every couple of months, though, you make like 80 or 90 kids cry, is what you're telling me.
Unfortunately, yes. That's the nature of theater.
I know, it's tough.
We give all the parents that talk when the kids go into the audition that it is a real audition process.
Right.
The kids are called in. We do some cuts after the first round, and then they're brought back in for a second round. To take a second look, start casting the leads and things like that. And we encourage all of our children, come back.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about the talent. It's about what they're looking for, a certain look, the way the kids fit together, a chemistry between, two kids. Right. And we have had kids come back, and then something finally clicks and they get in a show. And, we're just so glad that they were able to, put themselves out there like that. It takes a lot of courage, especially when you're talking about young kids.
Yeah, well, it's a good lesson to learn, too, though. I mean, listen, I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of everybody gets a participation medal and everybody gets a trophy. I mean, listen, this is real life. There's going to be rejection, and it's particularly cruel in acting. I mean, it's even more so to me than in sports. Where in sports you could end up on the bench and just not play, but still make the team. Nobody really sits on the bench in a show, right?
No, they don't. So they're all up there putting forward their best foot.
Yep.
And it's very there's no blending in. Every kid in the ensemble, they're a star up there.
Right.
They're a big part of the show. So
now are there some kids who like that they come back every time to audition and you're like, oh no, we know this kid's a rock star. We'll see this kid at the Christmas show, and this kid will be back again in the spring, and that kid's going to make the cut every time.
Not necessarily that they're going to make the cut. I mean, you do have your rock star kids who are just fantastic talents, and probably they will find themselves someplace in the show. Absolutely. I think where the surprises happen sometimes, because I'm not part of the audition committee, is where you kind of think when you see those rock stars come in and you say, oh, that, with the Christmas Story, that kid would be a great Ralphie, or that
right.
kid might be a great, old man, and then the show comes out cast differently, and you think, oh, I wonder how that's going to be, and then we see it on stage, and the show has never been cast wrong.
Right.
So
right.
you do have those rock star kids that, will find themselves a place in the show, but not always in the leads or in the roles that you expect them to be.
Now, are these kids also, because you said 5 to 18, Are these kids also performing in shows at their schools, a lot of them?
A lot of them are, and that's where, sometimes we get, when they come to BCCT, they're used to being, the leads in their high schools and their middle schools and things like that, and then you bring them all together in one place, and we're pulling from all these, these different districts. And so now we put a show on the stage that's a lot of those kids who are doing their school performances and things like that. And, they're not always getting the lead parts when they come to us, but they know that they're part of this whole bigger picture. And it's nice. It's really nice to see it all come together that way.
Now, how did you personally, because you're the board president.
Yes, I am.
So how did you personally get involved, and how did you end up running the board?
Well, it started with one of my daughters. Both daughters are involved. They're both very talented. They both love it. One daughter does it because she enjoys it, and one daughter does it because it is a true passion. And she did her first dance recital, 3 years old, on the Strand stage, and she walked out of the dance recital, and she said, I loved it. I loved being on stage, but now I need to be in a real performance. And we knew exactly what she meant. She had gone to Radio City to see shows. She had already been to a Broadway show. And when I saw a casting call 3 years later, believe it or not, for The Wizard of Oz through BCCT, the kids needed to be 6 years old.
Yep.
The audition was on her 6th birthday. I said, let's go. We'll give it a try. She had no idea she was at an audition. She thought that was her activity for the day.
Right.
And when she came out of the audition, the then current president of the board, and who happened to be one of the founders, knew her name. And I said, this is a good sign. And that was it. We never looked back. She was cast in the show. She was the littlest peanut in that show. And the older girls just looked out for her. My husband and I got very deeply involved that first show with things like set construction and helping out with the kids, and we never looked back as a family.
Right. Now, were you or your husband, were either of you actors in your youth?
We were not. We were, he was an athlete and I was a cheerleader, but I did dance. I did dance for many, many years. And this was just something that our kids kind of naturally fell into. So I said it always allows me bragging rights. Because they didn't get it from me, so then I can turn around and brag about them.
Right.
But we love it. I mean, we love it, and they love it.
And any truth to the rumor that you and I've heard. I mean, I was kind of trolling around the internet and saw a lot of stories on this, that you got involved with the board just to make sure that your kids got the proper roles in their shows.
Oh, stop.
I'm joking.
I know. Like I said, as a parent, I'm not involved in the audition committee at all. I have no say in that. It's a surprise to me. Just like everybody else, I don't get the cast list in advance. I get it the same time every other parent gets it.
Right. I'm just kidding. I do the same things. I coach I coach a daughter in soccer, and I guess I'm probably like you in that if my kids are involved in something, I want to be as involved as I can in it too, just to kind of do what I can to help the experience along.
Absolutely.
So that's cool. All right. So when we come back, I want to talk about this Engage Tom's River thing that you guys did, and a little bit about A Christmas Story.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about how you must be kind of somewhat tormented by this process. And now we've left you with a teaser, so we'll talk about that after this. Kendra Zarilli, board president, Brick Children's Community Theater, back after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, 621. Kendra Zarilli, board president, Brick Children's Community Theater. So, Kendra, tell me a little bit about A Christmas Story, because I know a lot of us have seen the movie, because the movie is like a classic. But a lot of my friends, when I said that that your group performed out of this show, they're like, wait, that's a musical? So where did that come from?
Well, I mean, it was a musical a couple years ago in New York City, and then I think it traveled around the country, and we've been trying to get the rights for it for 2 years now, and they released the rights for the New York area this summer, and we were just about ready to announce that we were going to do a different Christmas show, and we got a notification that the rights were available, and we jumped on them. it's as fun as the movie and then some. The musical numbers are just unbelievable. The kids sound so great, but all of the elements are there from the movie. Like you said, the flagpole, the Red Ryder action BB gun that Ralphie wants for Christmas, the pink bunny suit, Oh Fudge, all the fun stuff. So, yeah, but they're absolutely fantastic. I mean, the numbers are just unbelievable. We just started our tech week yesterday at the theater, and we were there for, I think, 6 hours, and
Wow.
the kids just are unbelievable. As soon as they hit that stage, a switch is turned, and they bring their A game. It's unbelievable.
So you're going to be performing this. That is coming up this weekend, right?
Yes, yep, December 9th and 10th at 7:30, and then on Sunday the 11th at 2 o'clock. But tickets on Sunday are very limited. We're down to slim pickings.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Well, I guess you get all the families come in, right? The nice thing about doing a children's theater is you're pretty much guaranteed that you will get, at least I would say probably like a 4-to-1 ratio of ticket sales to children at the very least, right?
Yeah, we're probably about 50-50 children, but it is a lot of families.
Yeah.
We always do a show that is appropriate for young kids. Christmas Story is probably the biggest show that we have a little bit on the edge because there's some references to some, inappropriate language and things like that. Even when the kids were auditioning, we had them sign waivers, but all the parents kind of chuckle and not anything they haven't heard or said before.
So we're not going to see Book of Mormon anytime soon, is what you're telling me.
No, we're not. So so it's always something that's appropriate for families, and it's done so professionally, and people come into, the Strand is a beautiful theater. They come in, they get a professional experience. It's local. It's priced nice for families, and they walk out and they can't believe they forget. Forget that these are kids only up until 18 years old. The talent is just unbelievable.
Right. Now, you guys were part of the Engage Toms River Giving Tuesday Theater Challenge.
Yes, we were.
And still are, actually. And so we had 5 theater companies performing, and you guys were amongst them. And I will tell you that I know that the adjudicating process was extremely close. And it just came down to a couple of points between you guys and the Ashley Lauren Foundation. But now we have an online piece, so people can go to engagetomsriver.com and vote for you guys, and they could also see a video of your guys' performance, which was outstanding, right?
Thank you. Yes. Now,
why do I believe that you are torn by this process?
Torn? How so?
Well, why do I? So what do you think I meant when I said you must be a little conflicted about this whole thing? You don't know, do you?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So and the beauty of Facebook now. So where did you go to high school?
Oh, I did. I went to high school north.
Right. So you are a Toms River High School North alumni.
Yes, right? I am. Yes, I am. And I actually have ties to the theater program because the Grills used to run the Toms River North Theater program, and they are friends of ours.
Okay. So in the top 5 also is Toms River High School North. So
yes, they are.
So it's a very small world, and so. Obviously, you as the board president of the Brick Children's Community Theater and having children that are actively involved in the Brick Children's Community Theater, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're still rooting for Brick, correct?
I am. You know how it is. Once you have your own kids, they come first.
Absolutely. Now, see, I always joke that, I'm a Toms River High School East alumni.
Yes.
But everything I do now is Toms River South Indians because that's where my kids. I have 1 kid at South and 2 more on the way there. So,
right.
So we have now become big Indian fans. And I can't stand the Raiders. So
how it changes, right?
I know, right? All right. So when we come back, because we're coming up against a break, right, Zach? What do we have? We have one. Oh, look at me. I'm amazing. I really got this clock in my head going on. When we come back, I want to talk about what show we may be seeing next after the holidays, okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to give you your magic wand so you can make an impact on the world. And then we're going to give you one last chance for Brick Children's Community Theater propaganda, where people can buy tickets, et cetera, et cetera. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. Kendra Zarilli, board president, Brick Children's Community Theater. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Sorry about my voice. I'm doing the best I can. Back after this.
Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:34 Monday, December 5th, 40 degrees, getting up to 51 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. To join the conversation, we are joined on the phone by Kendra Zarilli, board president of Brick Children's Community Theater. Okay, so we got Christmas Story coming up, right? And what's coming up after that? What's next?
The next, our spring show is going to be Lion King Jr. at the Strand.
Oh.
So that'll be the next one, and then our big summer show is going to be the classic Peter Pan at the end of July.
Now, Lion King Jr.
Yes.
Right now, that's kind of interesting because the Lion King is the Broadway show.
Yes.
Is kind of known for the leads to kind of be split parts between a child actor and then, the grown-up version.
Yes.
So that must be a little bit more challenging when you're doing an all-kids production.
It is. But even in our current shows, we have the older kids playing the adult parts and the younger kids playing the children and things like that. So sometimes, too, that impacts the casting,
Right.
Making sure that, when we put the older kids with the younger kids and they're supposed to be a family, they look like a family. And something like The Lion King, where the main characters start out as cubs and become adult lions, we'll have the younger kids play those parts, and they will be fantastic. Our director, Heather Campagno, is just amazing what she can get these kids to do, and and like I said, you're watching and you forget that some of these older kids are children. You don't realize until after the fact. And we've actually been asked, how old is that kid?
Right.
And when we tell them they're 16, 17, 18, they can't believe it.
Right. That's very cool. Very cool. Okay. So it's that time, right, for Kendra Zarilli, board president, Brick Children's Community Theater. We give you your magic wand, your pixie dust, your fairy dust, your ability just to wiggle your nose and make an impact on the world. What would you do with that great power?
I think I've seen, being involved now for 7 years and 21 shows later, the impact that theater can have on kids, and not just the kids acting, but the kids in the audience. They come and you just, sometimes I get the ability to be able to stand and just kind of watch the audience and see how excited the kids are and their faces, and being in the audience with them and hearing them react to what they're seeing on stage is just amazing. And then, of course, the kids on stage, we have those kids that we talked about before that are those rock stars, and they come in and they're just naturals, and they have a natural talent. But we also have kids who come in and they are very shy and very nervous about being on stage, and they put themselves out in this audition process, and the audition committee just sees a little spark of something, a little bit of stage presence, a little spark of something that, the production team thinks they can work with. And the next time you see that kid, or, over a little bit of time, now that kid is just a shining star and so confident, and they come, such a long way, and it's unbelievable to see that transformation, and just seeing that little spark of interest in something like theater, and it just is unbelievable what that change can bring in a kid.
Yeah,
so,
it's funny. It's funny because a couple things you said really resonate for me. Number one, we do a lot of work with the Ocean County Vocational and Technical Schools and the Performing Arts Academy.
Yeah.
going to those shows and not having a child in the production gives you a different perspective. Sometimes I just watch parents or grandparents of the kids, and just watching kind of their happiness at watching their kids is really unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Because they really just, nothing lights somebody up like watching their kids and being proud of their kids.
Absolutely.
But the other thing is that, I think we very often, we think that the only thing that for kids to do is to play a sport, right? They got to, your choices come down to soccer, football, baseball, basketball, or field hockey or something like that, or else, well, I'm not sure what you're going to do. And we really need parents. I think parents really need to kind of open their eyes to all the other activities that are out there, including theater and the arts, because there's so many kids that are fantastically talented that really just need to be turned on in the right direction.
Yeah, given the opportunity, and realize that they have a passion there and they have a talent there.
Very cool. Kendra, tell us where we could find out more about the Brick Children's Community Theater and where we could, find you: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. What do you got?
All that good stuff. Well, we are on Facebook under BCCT. Our website is bcct.org. So you can find out all of our information there, upcoming shows, classes for stages, our background, and all that good stuff. There's always pictures and videos and all that fun stuff, what's coming next. In this day and age, everything's on Facebook, though. The kids keep me updated in terms of what's going on Facebook. I'm not on in the way I should be, so everything goes there. So if they like us on Facebook, they'll be able to find out about all of our great events.
Very cool. And if you want to see a preview of this weekend's show, you can go to engagetomsriver.com and watch the scene featuring the Brick Children's Community Theater, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So we're all set. And then go ahead and cast a vote for them while you're at it. Hey, Kendra, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you so much for all you're doing to promote the arts, and to promote the arts especially in our young people, and for creating a richer community around us. We really appreciate all you're doing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, cool. Kendra Zarilli, Board President, Brick Children's Community Theater. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Back with more after this.